So I've just had a question through from one of you wonderful aspiring psychologists. I hope you can hear me okay because there are cars going in the background. And the question is around whether or not to pursue a PhD or to pursue the clinical psychology doctorate. Now, it's an interesting question and a question that I get quite a lot. I'm not going to lie, it's one that comes up quite a bit because, being quite a high achieving bunch, people who are aspiring psychologists often do have the choice between PhD and pursuing the clinical psychology doctorate. And the truth is, I can't really give you an answer, but what I can do is kind of help you. So it's a really simple tool, but really handy if you are kind of torn between two decisions and want to weigh them up. So at the top of a piece of paper, you can write benefits or positives, and then underneath that, make one column for a PhD and then the other column for the clinical psychology doctorate. And beneath each of those, just list the benefits or the positives that could come out of doing each of those, or list the things that might draw you towards it, that might make life easier. So for example, if you have already got a place on a PhD, that's obviously a positive if you haven't already got a place on the doctorate. So write all of those things down for each of those two options and then grade them or score them out of 10 according to how. For example, if you have already got a place on a PhD, that's obviously a positive if you haven't already got a place on the doctorate. So write all of those things down for each of those two options and then grade them or score them out of 10 according to how much of a benefit they are to you. So if it's really highly beneficial, give it a 10. If it's kind of like not a deal breaker but you're kind of happy that that thing is there, then give it a 1, for example. Then when you've done with that, I want you to get another piece of paper, or Saving the Planet, turn that piece of paper over and write costs at the top. And then again, do the same, write PhD in one column and then write the clinical psychology doctorate in another column, and then write down all of the costs to you. And again, scoring them out of 10. So things that are really high in costs or really kind of put you off of that particular choice, you score highly, so you score them as a 10, and things that are kind of not a deal breaker but you'd rather they weren't there, you score them low, as in a 1. And then, as you probably guessed, the next part is quite simple. So if you're anything like me, you'll go and grab a calculator and you'll start adding and taking away for each column. So you'll add up all of your positives or your benefits in your PhD column, and you get a total for that. You get all of your positives or benefits for your DClinPsy column, and then you get a total for that. You add up all of your costs for your PhD option, and then you get a total for that, and the same for the DClinPsy option, and then you get a total for that. And now you just want to take away whatever your unit is, whatever your number is for the costs from your benefits for each of those, and just have a look at the kind of scores and see what they tell you. What you might find is that actually one scores a lot higher than the other, or even if they don't, even if they're close together. But just use that as a way of kind of helping you to understand where you're at in a kind of more concrete and discrete way with that decision.